I think this is an objection that comes up quite a lot, and there's similarities between the two questions here. Firstly, is faith just a crutch for the weak? I think you can trace this back to people like Sigmund Freud, who talks about the idea of God just being basically a projection of our human desires into the heavens. So as a child, we look to our father for support and security. As we grow up, our father no longer provides that in the same way, and so we look to a kind of divine father figure to do it for us. And so Freud basically rejected God as this kind of divine father figure. And although his ideas in many other areas have been discounted, this idea of God being a kind of projection of our ideas of fatherhood into the heavens has continued, and we certainly see that being repeated today in many arguments against Christianity. More popularly, it just gets put in this way: you only believe because you want to believe. People often say that to me. Christianity, it's very nice, it sounds very good, but it just meets your kind of desires. It makes you feel better about life. Whereas, we need to be atheism. Even though atheism is bleak and cold and has no hope, that's the truth. And so it's this rejection of what seems to be attractive, what seems to be nice. Connected to that is this idea of Christianity being like a virus for the mind. And certainly atheists like Richard Dawkins have propagated that idea with his idea of memes. So he says, just as genes are bits of biological information that determine who we are, the idea of memes are bits of cultural information that determine kind of, the way we think, the way we think about the world, our beliefs and so forth. And he says, really, our belief systems, our religions are just passed on like viruses, like illnesses from one generation to the next. And so he says what we need to do is eradicate this virus of the mind called religion that's being passed on from generation to generation. And so both of them have at their assumption that Christianity isn't true, that God doesn't exist, and that people's only reason for believing in God is it makes them feel better, they want it to be true, or it's what their parents believed or what their culture taught. It's something they've caught from the society around them. So in other words, we could sum it up, it's either a crutch or it's a virus.